Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Let's not.
I'm Sawyer.
I'm Jacob. And I'm Jacob.
And this is Managing Conflict within the movie Dumb and Dumber.
Throughout the movie Dumb and Dumber, there are three main aspects of conflict management that come up. The first one we will be talking about is
romantic relationships, and this involves Lloyd Christmas and Mary Swanson, and their whole relationship throughout the entire movie.
The second one is managing conflicts within friendships involving Lloyd and Harry.
And then the final one we'll be talking about is managing conflicts with problem solving, including Lloyd Christmas, Harry, a cop, and Seabass.
And a couple bottles of piss.
As a team, we analyzed the movie Dumb and Dumber twice, and we studied 3 academic research reports about managing conflict in romantic relationships, managing conflict in friendships, and problem solving different situations throughout the film.
So as a little background to what we're talking about today, we're talking about Dumb and Dumber, starring Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. And basically what happens is there's these two guys, they're best buddies, and they live in Rhode Island, and they want to make a farm. It's called We Got Worms. They want to make a worm farm.
I mean, it's a genius idea if you ask me.
It's a great idea.
It's a terrible idea.
No, because then
No,
you can
it's
take the
not.
worms and go fishing.
That's true. You really could.
Yeah.
You could go fishing, you know? But they don't go fishing. They're too stupid to go fishing. So basically what happens is they both lose their jobs. Harry's in the shaggin' wagon trying to basically like pet groomer, and Lloyd is a limousine driver who's already crashed 3 times in the last month. He's run off the airway twice, so that just tells you what you need to know about these guys. But Lloyd picks up a girl that he thinks is very, very attractive. He immediately gets a crush on her, and he wants to see her again. So Lloyd drops her off at the airport, crashes, obviously, and sees she left a briefcase. And Lloyd, not thinking anything of it, like, I need to get her luggage to her. I have to make sure she gets her luggage. He runs into the airport, and he runs. Well, it turns out Mary is in a huge scandal because her husband's being held hostage at some freaking Colorado guy's house. I don't even know where. His name's Bobby. That's kind of cool, I guess. But
Kind of cool.
But basically, Lloyd has nowhere to go, so they lose both their jobs. Also, Lloyd gets robbed by an old woman trying to look at a certain magazine.
Trying to buy his beer.
Trying to buy booze, trying to buy all this different stuff. So Lloyd and Harry sit down, and they're like, what the frick do we do? And Lloyd's like, well, we know a person in Aspen. We know where to go. And Lloyd has no clue where the frick he's going. He thinks it's in California for all we know. He thinks Aspen is in California, not Colorado.
It's in Wyoming.
No, it's not.
It's Aspen, Wyoming.
It's Aspen,
It's Aspen,
Colorado.
Wait, actually?
Yes.
Yes, dude.
Wow, I'm the dumb one, I guess.
Got Lloyd Christmas over here. But anyway, so they go on this cross-country road trip, and they have encounters on the way, like piss bottles, hot peppers, stomach ulcers, all kinds of different stuff. And eventually they get back. And also, by the way, Lloyd doesn't know that Mary has a husband. So, he's chasing this girl for nothing. But, yeah, the whole epitome of the movie is these two idiot guys trying to get this briefcase to Aspen because Lloyd has a crush on Mary, and Harry's Lloyd's best buddy, so he's just along for the ride. So that's what Dumb and Dumber is. First main point is we're going to talk about how Lloyd does a terrible job of going after Mary Swanson. This is due to 2 main reasons. He has very poor conflict management skills. He doesn't know how to resolve conflict, and this is due to a lot of reasons. And the second is he doesn't know what his personality is. He doesn't know if it takes a long time for him to trust people. If he trusts people right away, he doesn't really know that for himself because he's stupid.
Basically, he's dumb.
He's dumb. It's Dumb and Dumber. That's what the show's called.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah.
I'll be out in 1 minute.
During the scene I just played, when Lloyd picks up Mary, he instantly gets a crush. Like, he was spontaneously, like, he got a crush. As seen by this picture right here, you can see he got a crush, and it was instant. As he's talking to Mary, he finds out that she is going to Aspen, Colorado.
Why you going to the airport? Flying somewhere?
How'd you guess?
Well, I saw your luggage. Then when I noticed the airline ticket, I put two and two together. So where you headed?
Aspen.
California. Beautiful.
This decision from Lloyd reveals a deeper issue with his personality. He forms overly strong attachment bonds with people that he doesn't really know, and he doesn't consider the consequences. Which makes a lot of sense because he's pretty freaking stupid.
Yeah, he's dumb. Dumb as dirt. Dumb as a rock.
Can we stop saying dumb? It's
Dumb as a sack of potatoes.
Gosh. Yeah, Lloyd's that dumb. But he also just doesn't know how to control his feelings. He doesn't know how to, like, work into stuff. He just goes right into it. And this is going to get him in trouble later on in the movie when he almost gets shot by a dude who's holding another girl's wife captive. Now, Lloyd can see it, but Mary was very visibly uncomfortable in the limo. She was, like, not having it with talking to Lloyd, as seen in this picture right here. This could have been a really key point for Lloyd not going to Aspen, because if he had seen that Mary was more visibly uncomfortable and was, like, not having the conversation at all, which he's not really smart, so he's not going to realize, like, just from, like, conversing when, like, he's in the front seat and she's in the back seat, that she doesn't want to be there at all. It could have helped a lot in his decision to, like, go rogue and just go to Aspen on a whim when him and Harry don't have any money to do it. Lloyd drops Mary off to the airport, and lo and behold, he sees her briefcase and this briefcase. So his first thought is to go bring it to her. Well, he fails at doing that. He runs off the runway.
Hold that plane! Sir, you can't go in there! It's okay! I'm a limo driver!
The main reason that Lloyd picks up the briefcase is that he wants to go see Mary. Reading between the lines, Lloyd has never had a long-standing relationship with a girl in his life. This is one of the main reasons that him and Mary don't end up working out. Another characteristic that he doesn't realize is that how impulsive he is and how easily it is for him to get attached to other people. This would have been huge for his relationship with Mary, because if he had realized this, he would realize, oh wait, I have not had any meaningful, long-standing relationships with the girl. I should probably figure this out. He didn't do that. So instead, he goes out on a whim and wants to go deliver her briefcase to her in Aspen. He really just wants to see her. Lloyd's communication style, impulsiveness, prevents him from fully communicating with Mary. When you are impulsive, it makes you only hear things that you want to hear, not what you need to hear. So if Lloyd had taken the time to figure this relationship out and not just got this crush and drove halfway across the country to go see this girl, he would have found out that Mary actually has a husband. And like we said earlier in the background information, is being held hostage. And the hostage money that was supposed to bail out Mary's husband, Lloyd picked up and delivered back to Mary. Lloyd's failure to communicate effectively with Mary and him not knowing what his personality traits are ultimately end up leading to the downfall of him and Mary's relationship. Even though there really never was an up climb, it was just all downhill. There are many ways to solve problems in relationships. In a study conducted by Kay Malherbe, of the 75% of people surveyed, they said that their perception, their conflict management methods had changed positively owing to increased self-awareness of their personality traits. 75% of participants had a 6-week time frame of self-awareness and self-recording where they reflect upon themselves and their own communication. All participants gained insight towards awareness of their class members' traits during their period of self-reflection. Along with that, they gained insight into managing their own emotions. After a series of open-ended questions and deep discussions, it was evident via self-reporting that self-reflection and self-assessment had 100% occurred during the reflection period. This study proves that the need for active self-awareness of your emotions and personality is vital for being reflective of yourself. This is relevant to what Lloyd did because if he really took a step back and used self-reflection on his personality traits and what he was getting himself into, he could have managed a conflict with his relationship with Mary a lot more efficiently. Lloyd Christmas exhibits ineffective strategies in pursuing a romantic relationship with Mary Swanson, primarily due to his poor communication skills and a lack of self-awareness, particularly regarding his own personality traits.
This is main point 2, where I'll be focusing on managing conflict within friendships, focusing on Lloyd and Harry and how they went through lots of challenges and they overcame them and stayed best friends by using pro-social conflict management strategies. Managing conflict within interpersonal relationships is very important. Research shows that as you get older, you get better at communicating and resolving conflicts. Interpersonal relationships use empathy to solve problems much more than they use anything else. They also use pro-social skills. With interpersonal relationships, people try to resolve conflicts fast. They also use problem-solving strategies and try not to let conflicts happen in the first place. At least that's what research shows. There is not much engagement in conflicts in interpersonal relationships because of the problem-solving strategies that are used. In Dumb and Dumber, they use pro-social strategies to resolve conflicts a lot. Pro-social strategies is the ability to resolve conflict in a constructive and a respectful way where both people are happy at the end. In Dumb and Dumber, an example of pro-social conflict management is when Lloyd drives a 6th of the way across the country in the wrong direction, and Harry is very mad at him for this.
Pissed, dude.
Backtracked a tad! Tad! A tad, Lloyd! You drove almost a 1/6 of the way across the country in the wrong direction! Now we don't have enough money to get to Aspen. We don't have enough money to get home. We don't have enough money to eat. We don't have enough money to sleep.
Lloyd then trades the van for a mini bike because they don't have enough gas money to get to where they need to go with the van. The mini bike, according to them, they say it gets 70 miles to the gallon.
Which is really good.
Got room for one more if you still want to go to Aspen.
Where did you find that?
Some kid back in town traded the van for it, straight up. I can get 70 miles to the gallon on this hog.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
This is how Lloyd uses pro-social skills to make both parties happy. Another example in Dumb and Dumber, where they used pro-social management skills to solve a problem, is when Lloyd and Harry were fighting over the briefcase that they had hauled all the way to Aspen, Colorado. Harry was mad at this briefcase because they were basically lost with no money, no food, barely a car, and Harry wanted to throw it in the lake. Lloyd did not like this, as it was his girlfriend's suitcase, and as they were fighting over it, they accidentally opened it. What was inside was money, and then they both agreed to use the money for their own benefit and then pay it back in IOUs.
Which are just as good as money.
I know what I'm gonna do. What are you doing? I'm gonna do something I should have done a long time ago. Ah! Don't do anything foolish, Harry! What? Foolish? This isn't foolish. I'm gonna toss this damn curse right into that damn pond. I'm gonna do it! No!
Harry! Your hands are freezing! Harry!
Okay, main point 3 we'll be talking about is managing conflict within problem solving. Throughout the movie, Lloyd and Harry use cooperative conflict management to solve problems that arise. And the first one we'll be talking about is the gas station scene, which is when Lloyd and Harry stop at a gas station to get some food, and Harry spills the salt shaker, and so Lloyd tells Harry to throw it over his right shoulder because spilling salt is bad luck, and you don't want to have bad luck when you're traveling across the country. So Harry proceeds to take the salt shaker and throw it over his right shoulder. Well, as he throws the salt shaker, it hits Seabass right here. And
Calm down, Vinny.
so Seabass gets all mad, and he comes over to Harry and Lloyd's table and says, "Who threw this salt shaker?"
Who's the dead man that hit me with the salt shaker?
It was a terrible mistake, sir. Please, believe me, I would never do anything to offend a man of your size.
Kick his ass, Seabass!
And when they finish eating, Lloyd and Harry walk over to Seabass's table and says, "We're really sorry for hitting you with the salt shaker. We'd like to buy your table a round of beers." And so they go over to the front counter and says to the cashier lady, "Seabass said he would cover our meal for us." And she goes,
Seabass said that.
Well, if that guy at the table over there is Seabass.
and they hurry and scurry out of there. Next scene I'll be talking about is the cop scene, when Lloyd and Harry are driving away from the gas station after they made Seabass pay for their food. And so they're driving, and Lloyd says to Harry, "I need to piss really bad. Pull over." And so Harry says, "No, I'm not pulling over. Seabass is probably following us." And Lloyd says, "Pull over." And basically, Harry doesn't pull over, and he goes, "Here, just piss in this." And he hands him a beer bottle. And so he starts peeing in it.
What's going on?
I just heard the curtain go.
Second scene I'll be talking about is the cop scene, when Lloyd and Harry are driving away from the gas station, and Lloyd tells Harry that he has to piss really bad, and so he tells Harry to pull over, and Harry won't pull over because he's worried that Seabass is following them. And so Harry doesn't pull over, so Harry tells Lloyd to piss in a beer bottle, and so he starts peeing in the beer bottle, and then basically he ends up filling up probably around 10 beer bottles just full of piss. And they're going really fast.
Pissing like a camel.
They're going really fast at this point. Then they get pulled over by a cop on a bike. And so he pulls up next to him and says, "Is there any chance you boys have been doing any drinking today?" And they're like, "Oh no, sir, we haven't been drinking." And he looks inside the van and sees 10 open containers of beer.
Or what he thinks is beer.
Yeah, what he thinks is beer. And so he says,
Give me that booze, you little pumpkin pie haircutted freak. Come on.
my research talked a little bit about cooperative conflict management. Cooperative conflict management style embodies an attempt to interrogate all people's interests, which emphasizes the openness of others' viewpoints, considering interests of both sides, and seek a satisfactory solution. In a study conducted by Graham Coetzer, he took 262 undergraduate university students enrolled in a business course, and they were involved in a team project which was worth 25% of their overall grade. The people in their groups had to capture and re-engineer the handbook, and then they would have to present it to the class. They had to use cooperative conflict management, a skill to finish the project in a timely manner. What they found by using these cooperative conflict management strategies was that they were able to finish the project on time and receive a good grade, considering the interests of both sides and seek a satisfactory solution. This is shown by Lloyd and Harry throughout the movie without them even realizing it. Their ability to get through difficult situations by sticking together is a perfect example of using cooperative management strategies.
In conclusion, what does this tell about conflict management and how to handle our relationships? Conflict management is a part of everyday life, whether that is with romantic relationships, friendships, or problem solving through different situations. With Lloyd, we see how to not approach a romantic relationship with a girl. The best way to do that is to understand what your personality traits are and what your conflict management skills are. With friendships, it is best to use pro-social conflict management skills to solve problems in friendships because it involves both people and strives for improvement. This is what we see with Lloyd and Harry in Dumb and Dumber. The best way to solve problems when you are in a group of people is to use cooperative communication skills, where you work together as a team. We see this many times throughout the film as Lloyd and Harry get themselves into and out of difficult situations. Like the boys in Dumb and Dumber, we are all going to struggle with conflict in our lives, whether that be in a romantic relationship, with a friend, or through a tough problem. There are ways to combat this. Learning to be effective communicators and using self-awareness in relationships will lead us to the results we want. While Dumb and Dumber is a comedy film, it shows us exactly what not to do, and you can learn as much from other people's mistakes as you can your own mistakes. Conflict can be dumb, and our situation can be dumber, but learning to push through that in all aspects of your life will help you. Through this awareness and effectiveness of communication comes the ability to manage any conflict that comes your way.
I've got a new age girl. Tell us what she's like. Environmentalist girl. Does she ride?